Hi Libra, welcome to your May 2016 Tarotscope. It's Raina here. So, we have a very interesting month for you. I've been looking at your cards. I get a very strong work vibe and career success vibe happening for you if you've been looking for work particularly. But I will get to that in a minute. First, I want to kind of go over the astral weather. Some of the transits that are occurring in May for the sign of Libra, Sun, and Ascendant. And so the basic concentrations of energy in May for you are in your third house of communication and your eighth house of other people's money, death, sex, life mysteries. And so that's pretty interesting. So for the third house issues, we have Mars and Saturn both retrograding in your third house. So this is going to be for a while, especially with Saturn. This isn't going away anytime soon. There's also going to be a full moon in this house on May 21st, and this will be at 1 degree of Sagittarius. Now, what's interesting about this is that there will be another full moon in Sagittarius in June on the 20th, which happens to be the summer solstice, and this will be at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. So you see the first degree and the last degree of Sagittarius in 2 consecutive months. So I look at this as something coming to your attention and then the matter resolved, or some sort of culmination of whatever happened. So let's look at a particular possibility. You hear from some sort of, you hear from one of your siblings, and there is some issue, and then it gets resolved in a month's time. Okay, because the Mercury is in retrograde and will be until May 22nd, and so the full moon happens the day before. So you may hear back from people in your past, and being in the third house with this full moon, something may come to your attention regarding a sibling. It could be something that you find out about on the internet that is a revelation to you of some sort. But in that case, it could happen. It could be about anything, really. I think especially if you have ideas about starting some sort of business on the internet, maybe in June, that kind of is when you finish the project. The other influence in the third house is Mars is retrograding there. So maybe you started some sort of novel or some book writing project or something, and you feel like, you're meeting resistance. Maybe you have writer's block. Well, at the end of June, Mars will be going direct. I would say, though, that until about August 21st, the full potential of your ability to direct energy in this particular area may not be felt. But you should definitely, if you have some idea for a writing project or a blog type of a situation, do not allow anything to deter you. It's just more of a question of not forcing things, I guess, is the best way of putting it. And then, of course, we have Saturn in retrograde motion. Now, Saturn in your third house may really help you to crystallize these ideas and really bring them out into 3D. So because it's in retrograde motion, it may be a time where you're still kind of researching or reviewing what you've done so far and kind of deciding what's working, what's not working. But just keep that in mind about that transit of Saturn in your third house, which is going to be in play throughout much of 2017 as well. So this is going to be something that can help you for the long term if you take advantage of it, if you decide to do something in communications. Particularly with the internet, but any kind of a writing project. The other concentration of energy is the 8th house. So we have the sun and we have the new moon there. We're going to have, well, Mercury is retrograding in the 8th house for much of the month, till the 22nd. It goes direct. The new moon is on the 6th of the month. But this is all about other people's money. So in America, we just had our tax deadline. So that if you have a spouse, you might be dealing with that. Now, some of the cards I picked suggested that maybe some of you are getting divorced. And if that's the case, then it might be alimony issues, you know, or property issues, who gets what. And let's see, I mean, what else can I say about that? The 8th house deals with kind of the occult, or it actually deals with total regeneration. So you may feel like you are wanting to totally make yourself over, but not in a superficial way that deals with your physical appearance. Maybe you're having kind of like, I don't want to say a dark night of the soul, but you're having real feelings of, you know, what am I here for? And I feel like the 8th house is really all about that. It's all about asking those deeper questions. The 9th house is a philosophical framework of life, but I feel like the 8th house is like the mysteries of life, the things that are not just revealed to us openly, and you know, are not just something we can access by just simple means. I mean, it's something we really have to, sometimes suffering brings us to this point. When we're living life on the surface, everything just seems hunky-dory, and then you have a crisis and you start to ask those deeper questions. And Libra, you know, you are a very gregarious sign, you're a very social sign, and you're very clever. You're very entertaining, you know, so you probably like to go to parties and to talk to other people and to just have a good time. And yet, like everyone else on this planet, you know, you have a side to you that maybe you don't explore that often, that deals with the bigger picture. So that might be just something that is kind of triggered within you. And, you know, come to think of it, why didn't I? I was thinking, why would Libra be this deep right now? And you do have this year-long transit of Jupiter in your 12th house in the sign of Virgo. So perhaps that has triggered within you a quest for spiritual truths, and just exploring spirituality, especially if you've never really done so. These are 12-year cycles, so it doesn't come around every day, and it may kind of propel you into these sorts of matters. And during May, you kind of have that scorpionic, Plutonian 8th house additional influence that kind of bears down on thinking about, you know, death and regeneration, reincarnation, and, you know, your true purpose, your true path in life. So that's pretty deep. In any case, I'm going to go into the cards, and I've divided the period into 3 sections. The first I'm considering or intending to be until Jupiter goes direct, which occurs on May 9th. And then the middle period is, you know, the middle period, and then the last 10 days. And, you know, of course, this is all just constructed to have some kind of organization or boundaries, but we can just look at it as an overall thing as well. The card that I picked for the overall energy is the Page of Wands. So I feel like there's some excitement in the air for you. You hear some news. Pages can bring news, and it's exciting, and it can relate to a job offer. Pages are young people, so it may be something to do with a child. Some of you, it may be about a love affair. And I actually am going to be talking about some of these cards in relation to love and career, because what I found when I did my love readings is sometimes they felt more like career, and then, vice versa, So when you're doing general readings like this is, it can mean one thing for one person, another for another. So this month I'm combining the two. And I really feel like as the month begins, you're going to be very busy with work, and maybe even feeling overwhelmed by it because it's a load that you're carrying. Now, I will say that this card in relationship to a romantic situation may mean that you are doing much of the heavy lifting in the relationship. And I feel like you're going to realize that, but you're going to feel like this is hard to break away from. This card, the Devil card, points to compulsive behavior, like addictions, And so you may feel like you want to get away from it, but you just can't. So because of this, you might have to really figure out a way to view the relationship as it really is, which is that you're giving more than you're getting. And as a Libra, fairness and balance are very important to you. So maybe if you can see it in that light, it will motivate you to make a change. The Devil card is connected to Saturn, so it can also relate to the sign of Capricorn, as well as Aquarius, because Aquarius is co-ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So you could be dealing with one of those two signs, or somebody who has that as a signature or a rising sign. I feel that for that first third of the month, the outcome is the Three of Pentacles. So regardless of what is going on, I feel like it's whatever you're doing it constructively, and it's going to have a payoff. This is the card of the Architect, and the Architect is building something viable. And the number 3 relates to abundance and creativity. So if you are, in a relationship where you feel like it's not a fair relationship, then that realization will benefit you, and you will be able to take steps that help you get away from that, so that you can bring in this new possibility for a love partner. So if this is a business thing, you may be working a lot of hours, or you may be working very hard, but eventually it will pay off. And maybe this, in a business situation, maybe this is could be that you're working hard for a business that you find it hard to get away from, because maybe it pays well, but it's just wearing you down. But maybe you're doing some other job that's more of a labor of love on the side, and that thing is going to pay off eventually. So it could be where you're trying to get away from this kind of taxing relationship or job, and you're starting something else, and this card would be telling you that keep up with it, because it's going to eventually sustain you. So then in the middle period, we have the Empress card, which happens to be connected to your sign. I feel like in the middle period, you're going to really be enjoying kind of the abundance that life offers in some way. And this is a card associated with the mother. So, you know, some of you may even conceive. I do feel that there is a little bit happening relationship-wise in this period, because we have the King of Swords and then followed by the Five of Cups. So this is what gave me the impression that some of you may be consulting with a lawyer. Sometimes the King of Swords can indicate somebody who is a very wise person, maybe a judge actually, and you're going to have to grieve some loss, emotional loss, and so that might have to do with a divorce proceeding. But as for the Empress, it may be that as a mother, you're thinking of your child and you're putting your child first. And so, you know, the other thing too, I should say, is that all of these things, it doesn't have to be just that this reading is for you business-wise or in a relationship. I mean, this could be just telling the story of the month of May for you. Maybe you have business things and then these are emotional things that are happening. If this is a job situation, you may be you may have even a boss that is involved with you in some way. I was thinking of having an affair with your boss that doesn't pan out. This card is associated, the Empress card is associated with sensuality. So that could also be coming into play with you. And, you know, otherwise, it may be that this person is also this person. It could be an air sign, a fellow air sign. I was saying with this that it would be specifically an Aquarius person, but, you know, it could be that person's rising sign. So it would be somebody, a Gemini, a fellow Libra, or an Aquarius. It could be that you are interested in this person and it's unrequited. And there's something that between these two people that is not panning out. So whether this is a spouse or this is talking about a divorce, there seems to be some relationship issue. Now, I feel like, you know, this would be particularly a case where maybe you want to be a mother, and you're with somebody who does not want to have children. That can always be the possibility as well. Or you're trying to use your feminine wiles to attract this person and it's not working out. Okay, well, in the third period, I feel like, you know, these two, the beginning of the month and the end of the month, are really career oriented, because in the last portion of the month, we have the Three of Wands. And I really feel like this is some kind of success related to any career that you know, have embarked upon. And maybe this is that news that you receive. So, you know, in a romantic relationship, it could have to do with a fire sign, you know, just like this. So it could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius that is, you know, in the picture. Maybe you know, hook up with somebody, maybe on the internet. You know, that's always a possibility. Maybe that occurs as well. But career looks really good at the end of the month. And Knight of Pentacles is all about really hunkering down and working very hard and being very focused on making a lot of money. So, you know, I feel like that's something that is going to be very appealing to you at the end of the month. And it's not the same as this. You know, this is more, the Ten of Wands is more of a struggle. This Knight of Pentacles is more about a grounded energy that connects to the earth element and about kind of building resources for your future. And then you have as the outcome the Eight of Wands. So there's very quick movement and developments. So, you know, they're going to be positive developments, and you may have to act very quickly. At the end of the month, we have the Sun and Venus in a fellow air sign of Gemini. So it forms a trine, nice angle to you, nice flow to you. And so things can start to really just speed up. And you might even have some kind of romance at the end of the month, that you'll have Venus in your 5th house. So that can be very helpful for any kind of, well, no, Venus will not be in your 5th house. Actually, at the end of the month, you'll have the Sun and Venus in your 9th house. And so this will be very good for anything related to travel. And actually this card, the Eight of Wands, can relate to that as well. So you may have some kind of travel news. And this can also benefit falling in love with somebody from a different culture. So that is very exciting. I see a lot of, you know, ending on a really enthusiastic and, you know, very quick-paced end of May for you. So I hope you enjoyed this, Libra. If you would like a okay, Libra, so I am going to read for you this Law of Attraction card that I picked. This is from Abraham Hicks. And I'm going to hold it up, and I don't have my light on, so I don't know how dim this video is going to be, but it says, I cannot create the experience of another. And on the back it says, you cannot create the experience of another because you cannot think their thoughts. What you can do for them is set the example of joy. Become a being who thinks only of that which you are wanting, who speaks only of that which you are wanting, and who does only that which you are wanting, and therefore brings forth only joyful emotion. And this is really connected to, I feel, the idea of codependency, because a lot of times people get so wrapped up into trying to control what their partner is doing that they lose themselves. And, you know, Libra, as the ruler of the 7th house of the partner, you are especially vulnerable to this. And this is something that you have to really kind of fight against, is this, you know, merging of yourself with the other person. And this is about realizing that you have your own life to live. And when you really just focus on tending to your garden, you can make some really great strides, because you're not wasting energy trying to worry about what somebody else is doing or not doing. And this is particularly true if you're dealing with any kind of relationship energy towards the beginning and middle of the month, where you're feeling a bit dejected because you couldn't make it work. And really, all you can do is your part, and you have to leave the rest up to the universe. So I think I'll leave that there, Libra. If you would like a personalized reading incorporating your natal chart with the tarot, please click on the link below. Otherwise, take care of yourself. Bye.